Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to an episode of Total War Arena. So, we are back with the Carthage Tier 8 Infantry. I think these are the Insubres swordsmen. I'm going to go with that pronunciation, but I'm probably wrong. So yeah, I did a video on these guys 2-ish weeks ago, maybe longer. I don't know, time becomes a blur. And yeah, I really enjoyed them, but I haven't really played them that much since. No particular reason why, it's just I kind of get caught up in the video making of different units and stuff, and I kind of forgot about them really. And yeah, I just saw them again the other day. I've had a couple of games with them. I knocked the first set of trousers just a couple of games ago. It gives just a little bit more movement and turn speed, which is kind of what these guys are all about, so actually kind of a nice upgrade. And yeah, we've still got a fair chunk to go in terms of getting some of the warrior trousers, the armour. And the second sword over here is actually significantly worse, I think. I don't think a little bit of impact damage is worth 16 melee attack and more weapon damage. So I'm certainly not going to be getting this longsword here. I'm going to be ignoring that one. So pushing down this way, I'll probably go for the shield as well. And I might even go for the helmet if I'm feeling really brave, because 7 body armor is actually quite a decent upgrade. It's not to be sniffed at too much. But anyway, what are these guys all about? Well, they are just like barbarians, but with a mini vengeance. They're just amazing. Firstly, movement speed. Base movement speed with the first upgraded trouser, 4.6. Do I get anything with Astarte's sacrifice? I do another 7% there. So they have this really nice base speed. Combine that with force march, means at least with my current level upgrades, I'm getting sort of mid-5s on the movement speed. Just really nice, a continuous movement speed like that, really good for a unit like this. On top of that, you even get a nice 4-second charge as well, which is great. 4 seconds for an infantry charge is pretty long. Plus it gives plus impact damage as well, so you actually do some damage now when you're hitting people. Just kind of often with these sort of barbarian infantry charges, you just do nothing. You know, with harass, things like that, you get stuck into people, but you don't actually really do any damage. These actually does pretty decent amounts of damage, and that long duration makes it really good for catching up with archers, other range units, stuff like that. Hemming units in, exactly using it like that. Other than that, Howl, okay, not so great. Although combined with the two, just give you plus 20% charge impact. Probably not really enough to beat most cavalry, but you might stand a chance against some of the perhaps the tier 7 Roman cavalry, stuff like that. You may be able to beat them in the charge as a push. And of course, you get the best strike that money can buy, other than Housing, which is Slam, because it gives that stunned effect to enemy units with that 50% movement speed debuff. And of course, you get knockback and damage as well, making it absolutely perfect. So yeah, these are just an absolutely perfect unit. And then on top of that, you know, of course, you're getting your ad porters and basically an even better version of Iron Discipline, so you obviously don't rout. And you go for your ad porters, that 75% melee weapon damage increase, along with the melee defense and melee attack as well. Just makes these guys absolutely awesome. It means you can really start to rack up some damage really quickly, and the really short cooldown on ad porters as well means that you can basically use ad porters in every fight, because it's the time you've finished your one engagement, moving on to the next one, ad porters are already cooled down and is ready to be used again. So it's just awesome. Big fan. So, if you haven't gathered that I like them enough, let's hop into a game and see if I can show you just how good these guys can be. So, we are loading in with our Carthaginians on Hadrian's Wall. My least favourite map in the entire game. But it's mostly for cavalry, not so bad for infantry. Which side are we going to go? Obviously, I want to be sort of hanging around with support. We're going to get some sort of stuff coming up this way. I don't mind going with other infantry, but I kind of don't want to be out here on my own, because you're quite a long way from any support up here on the flanks, and if you kind of get overwhelmed, it can be over pretty quickly. Obviously we've got some other tier 7 Carthaginian infantry, some of the heavy infantry with us, and some light artillery.
Take the enemy base or kill them all.
Could be worse. So let's get our force march on straight away. Gives us our really good, quite good movement speed. You know, mid-5s on the movement speed, something like that, which is exactly what we want to be seeing. Need to make progress up the hill, and sort of see what we encounter around this point. The main thing we need to watch out for are enemy ranged units. Obviously, with force march on, our missile block is only 9. With it off, it goes to 39, but it's still shocking. And looks like that flag point's been captured by the enemy cavalry already. If our Libyans are going to go this way, I'll go down this side. Some Arminius Falksmen. Not too much of a concern for me particularly. I would probably take that fight if they wanted it. They're just going to stand there. I'll go for the... Try and get sort of a bit of envelopment at least. Oh wow! Massive routing already. But we just managed to catch that on the determination. Hopefully it looks like we're going to rout some of them as well, which would be ideal. Come on, guys, let's get the damage in now. This is what we want to be doing. We've got our porters on. We should be able to absolutely smash these guys really quickly. Let's get our slam to stop him running away. That guy's dead, so let's start to push into the other one, start to get the flanking manoeuvres on the enemy. We've pretty much killed these falconsmen already. I think they were trying to make a run down here, and I was just managed to catch them with my charge, which is exactly what we want to be doing. And that was that. That's probably the quickest 3-unit kill I've ever had in the game, I think. Well, that's a nice start, wasn't it? Okay, things are going well. Let's push up the hill. What's our cap situation like? Okay, we're not immediately threatened at our base yet, so let's get this flag point, see what we can see in terms of enemy units, make some moves from there. I see something over there. Some enemy cavalry's got in amongst our light artillery. They have got a unit of Romans there with them, and stakes and stuff, so they should be okay, really. Because if I push back, by the time I get there, they'll just put to flight and be gone. The enemy cavalry, that is. So there's some Romans in the bottom. Looks like there's some enemy light artillery. I'm just going to push them towards their base. Looks like our base is secure. I'm worried if they're going to have large amounts of defending archers. Although I'm just noticing they actually have no ranged on their team, which is perfect for us. Perfect matchup. So looks like we have got some of the new tier 8 Roman premium units. Yeah, they're going to be a bit more tough to handle. Ideally, I don't know if they're paying attention or not. If they're not, I'll be able to get a unit in amongst them and then put a unit through on the flanks. Let's send second unit in there. No, they have noticed me. That makes things a bit more difficult because they can block that passage up better, you see. Well, we'll send a unit in. See what happens. Are they vengeance? They are. Oh dear. Let's see if they pop vengeance first. These guys are so brutal. See, they're reluctant to pop vengeance. I'm gonna. Oh, there they've gone. Just as I really popped mine. Pretty much spells the end of that. Let's get out of here. Let's go for a slam if we can. We've got a little bit of damage in amongst them. I need to get away from these spearmen into safety before these guys turn up. Looks like they are Canane. Ah, they're hit by a javelin throw at the same time. Let's go for our reckless charge to try and get a little bit of ground. I'm pulling my 2 units. They've managed to split me, which obviously works well for them. Let's try and get to forest. We are barbarians. We should be able to take advantage of some of the terrain buffs. So, well, that was very nearly the end of us. We nearly got caught by those enemy spearmen. Sometimes you just have to run away when things aren't in your favour. You know, fighting these guys is pretty tough. They have now used their vengeance, though, mind you. That's something to bear in mind. They are still a really tough unit to crack, though. I know that. You know, I've played these guys myself. If you watched my video on them, you've seen just how such colossal defense values these guys actually have. I'm tempted now they've used their vengeance to give it another go. I think we can maybe wrap their fatigue up fairly quickly. They are obviously in phalanx. I'm inclined to try and push onto the side of them, at least a little bit more, and sort of to see if we can possibly get a bit of a flanking manoeuvre on them. Looks like they're going to try a similar thing with me. We've now only got to face these guys frontally. Not exactly going well, is it? I don't really want to be charging these because I'm just charging a phalanx. I'm trying to get units around the side. And of course we are now being shot by enemy heavy artillery as well, just to top it off. So let's just move this unit up forward into cover from this enemy light artillery so we're not being shot by that. They're mostly hitting the wall though. I would have thought these guys' fatigue must be starting to run down a little bit now. Let's go for a slam. Try and get a bit of knockdown, which we are. Our ad portus is running down, but we are starting to get a bit of damage on these guys now. It just goes to show how tough these guys are as a unit. But as their fatigue starts to build, I should hope that we can really start to overwhelm them, which is what I want to try and do. And our melee attack should be sufficient that they can't really stop us, which is kind of what seems to be happening now. As you can see, we're just completely overwhelming this unit of auxiliary, and I've got my units in cover from that enemy light artillery down there. I'm just going to push straight on. Same problem, because we're now going to fight all these myrmidons. And if they're going to push into me like that, we may be able to resist it for long enough, although it looks kind of like my ad portus is going to run down. So let's get out of here. Whew. So, was that a good trade? No, not really. It wasn't a very good trade because We took quite a lot of losses there. And what really did we achieve? We managed to kill one unit of tough tier 8 Romans. When, you know, we are winning the battle, but it's certainly far from won. And we have other units, you know, the rest of our units are currently kind of engaged elsewhere. And now everyone's starting to turn up. I think more opportunities are going to develop for us. So I think that was an error, really. I think better going into that gap. So yeah, no, I feel that wasn't such a good move. I should have waited for a better opportunity when I could get them on the flank, something like that. But there we go, it was a mistake. It's kind of interesting to see how tough those units of auxiliaries are to fight against, though. They just have such great damage potential. Looks like the enemy have still got quite a good number of really high tier elephants left in the game. You know, we've not really won this battle yet. Which is still kind of a point of concern for me. I'm going to sort of push like this. I'm surprised these myrmidons didn't push forward to try and push into the back of me more. I am kind of blobbing up a little bit. Are they going to push in behind me? No, they're not, because they're kind of caught up. I'm going to blob like a bit of a noob here, I think, because in the narrow way it works. I don't think it really matters. Let's get our force march off. Go straight in determination. Just get some rear flanks. Go straight in with the slam. Whoosh. Slam is such a nice ability. As a strike ability, it's just the best. Hopefully we're going to rout these Romans. Come on, -3. Stay with it, stay with it. There we go. Just get some damage on these guys as they rout completely, finish off that unit. That's one thing I really love about these guys. In fact, every situation like this, I've got access to our porters, which is exactly the real problem with Vengeance. Is that long cooldown time. It's this every fight I get into, I am more than happy just to pop ad porters because I know that the guys can deal with it. Well, they realise I'm going to get double flanked if I do that, so let's pull back out of that. Don't want to lose what units I've got left alive in this sort of situation. They're doing quite a good job, these myrmidons. Oh, elephants. Ow. I could have done a charge then to try and escape. I just felt that without looking, I was more likely to run into a building as I was anything else. Are we going to get hemmed in now by these myrmidons? Or have they realised? Or have they just made an error? Obviously, I'm still blobbed up, but you know, this is partly because I've got sort of a relatively small amount of units now, so they kind of got round a little bit. They have such amazing turn speed, those guys. Let's go with our determination, and we're kind of well in amongst them now. Let's go for our slam, and looks like they're going to rout, which is absolutely perfect. That's what I thought I was saying when I said let's not make mistakes, let's look for opportunities. And that's kind of what I was trying to achieve. Because those sort of opportunities, it's easy to kill units when you can catch them in extremely unfavourable conditions, so why not just wait for that sort of situation? There we go, in amongst those guys. They're routed. They try and go to phalanx, but no use to them. Okay, let's form ourselves back out into a neater line. And I think we have got this one in the bag. We're just going to be capping out now. Looks like some of our friendly Romans did a good job of defending our base from the Greek cavalry. And really, all they've got left are these elephants. Which, whilst a pain, there's just more than enough of us now for us to be able to deal with this, I think. Oh, it's just a case of getting a few nice extra cap points right at the end. As these guys kind of get cut down in front of us. Largely by cavalry, to be honest. And there we go. Game, set and match. That was a really nice game. Perfect summary of what these guys are like. It's just the movement speed is just lovely, and that ad portus is just so nice. It's so nice to have it in every fight, and that for me is what wins it over Vengeance every day. You know, Vengeance is great, but it's so well known that you shouldn't be fighting Vengeance head on. People are really reluctant to do so, and you use it in one fight, and then as soon as you break contact and another fight breaks out, of course you don't have Vengeance. And in a situation like we were in then, we were in lots of different separate fights where we were getting involved with. So with that short cooldown that Ad Portus has, it means every time you get into a fight, you could just activate Ad Portus and you just cause chaos, because it actually does really quite a lot of damage. 75% melee weapon damage increase is really quite high, with a 30% melee attack as well, and the extra melee defense, which makes you stronger as a unit. It's just wonderful. So yeah, I'm a really big fan of these guys. Obviously, we have still got a lot more work to get these guys properly upgraded. I don't know what I'm going to go for next. Whether I go for the really good extra movement speed of the trousers. Even the helmet gives quite a bit of extra body armor. We've also got a shield as well to give us. And we're going to get a little bit of extra movement speed with some of the leather armor as well. Plus 14 body armor. So yeah, quite a lot of potential with these guys. I'm not so much looking forward to the tier 9s and 10s though. It's got to be said. They seem to take a bit of a turn for the worse because they become heavy infantry. Which is kind of going to suck compared to these guys. These barbarians who basically without porters. Who are just awesome. So anyway, thank you for watching this video, guys. I'm going to continue grinding these guys a little bit more. Let me know what you think about these in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel for lots more Total War Arena content, and I shall see you all on the next episode.